All right, back with you. It is San Diego Sports Leader, the Mighty 1090, as we have been discussing for the better half of the first 35 minutes of this show. San Diego State last night with another huge victory, this time on the road, 67-65. We have played the sound bites for you there. The last second shot by Dwayne Polee. And joining us now, and we are thrilled to have him, he is head coach Steve Fisher, head coach of the San Diego State Aztecs, who are now fifth in the country and getting set for Nevada coming up this weekend. Coach, congratulations. Your 301st victory at San Diego State.
That was a hard one, Darren, but that also was a very, very sweet one. To win on the road in the atmosphere we were in, the way we did, against a truly desperate team. Not that we weren't, but we got Boise's best shot, and it looked like they were going to deliver the knockout punch several times, but we got back up, maybe a little wobbly, and then started making a few plays and got our legs about us and really, really charged at them down the stretch to get a victory.
Where'd you get that Polee guy anyway? I'm drawing a blank. I know he transferred from somewhere, but I forgot where he came from.
Well, some little Catholic school back east, I think they say. Saint something or other, St. John's. I know there's several illustrious alums living in San Diego from St. John's.
Well, he was such a, I know that the fans there, and I know that the program there, when he transferred, they actually were happy for him. You know, sometimes a player transfers, coach, and you know this, and people are bitter and they don't want to sign his release. I always got the sense that they were pretty happy for Polee, you know, that he would get a chance to go and play for your program.
Dwayne is one of those lovable guys. You can't help but like him. He's always smiling, always positive, whether he's playing or not playing. And Gene Cady, the former Purdue coach, who's out helping Lavin now, I saw Gene on the Nike trip, and they affectionately nicknamed him Bambi, because sometimes he's all arms and legs, and you don't know where he's going to go with it. And he asked me, how's Bambi doing? Tell him I wish him good luck. And they really did. They were happy for Dwayne to go someplace where he felt good about. And now, obviously, we're real happy that we've got him.
Well, what a moment for him last night. What a moment for your program. What a moment for you. I mean, Coach, there are so many different areas we can start here with this game last night. Let's start with the halftime score, because I think anybody who's followed you guys this year knows 42 points at the half is very, very out of character for a San Diego State defensive team, whether it's on the road, whether it's at home. What'd you say to your guys at the half here, and what did you guys do differently in the second?
I told them, Darren, that the way they shot the ball in the first half, and part of it was not quite as good a defense as we normally play, but they were lights out from three-point range. I told them at halftime, I said we had cut it to 4 points with 1:20 to go, then gave up a corner three and gave up an inline out-of-bounds basket, so they scored the last 5 points to go up 9. And I said, is there anybody in this locker room that doesn't believe, and not just fake talk, but believe we're going to win the game? I said, because if you compete, we can and will win this game. But it has to be that. It has to be controlled desperation for 20 minutes. And we found a way to do it. We played better. And basketball, Darren, is such a game of runs that you got to, when you get yours, you got to see if you can make it last. Usually it's better at home than on the road, but we had a really good run for ourselves in that second half.
Well, you hold them, and we're talking to Steve Fisher here on San Diego Sports Leader, the Mighty 1090. You hold them to 23 in the second half, which is about, I think what you would expect from the Aztecs defensively here. But even still, you find yourself down 14 with about 14 minutes to go in the game. What clicked from that moment, from 14 minutes, from the end of the game, from that moment to the end of the game, down 14?
Broplay hit a three. We were down 14 points with about 15 minutes to go, as you said, 57-43. They had 57 points with about 15 minutes to go in the game and scored 8 points the rest of the game. We had a play. Polee started it. He stole a ball at midcourt and got a dunk on a layup, and then we started a 15-0 run that lasted 7 minutes and 33 seconds down to the 4-minute and 20-second mark, where we're ahead 61-59, and just we went at them. They got a bit tentative, and we made plays and made shots, and they couldn't.
The final sequence for you guys offensively. What was? I know you addressed this last night with Ted Leitner on the post game. People may have seen the quotes, but for those that haven't, what were you thinking there with 17 seconds to go? You guys are down a point on the road. What were you thinking in that spot?
Darren, they made a concerted effort the last few possessions not to let Xavier Thames get the ball. They overplayed in the full court, double-teamed him to try to make somebody else get it, and then tried to not let him get it back. So we tried to strategically say, okay, here's where we want X, and get it if you can. But if you can't, flash Dwayne Polee here, throw it to him, and see if we can hit X on the run. So we had a fail-safe plan to make sure we got Xavier the ball in the full court. He was able to make a quick move and one-on-two get open. And then the plan was to possibly, we call it crack, have Josh Davis come up and set a screen in the full court. But they backed off a little bit, and just what we'd done the last few plays of the game, or maybe not the last few, a lot of the last 10 minutes of the game, somebody flash up, set a high ball screen for Xavier with one of their bigs and see if he could make a play coming off that ball screen. And most of the time when he was making those plays, he made them for himself, where he went in, pulled up and shot the jumper, pulled back and shot a three, took it to the rim and got fouled. But this time, I mean, if you watch it and then watch it again, you say, how did he see Polee? He drove to the right side, and three people collapsed on him, and just like you draw it up, he leaped in the air right before he got into heavy traffic and whipped it to Dwayne, who was unguarded, who made a big-time three for us to win the game. But obviously, everybody knew what we wanted to do, get Xavier the ball coming downhill off a ball screen.
You know, and that is such a great point, I think, and one I hope that doesn't get lost in the excitement of the last-second shot like you guys had to win this game and continue the streak and be where you guys are. The fact that everybody on the planet, people that were watching at home, people that were listening, people that are in the building know that Thames is going to get it in that spot. Nobody would have been disappointed, I don't think, on your bench. Nobody would have been disappointed if Xavier took that shot. You live and die with, you dance with who brought you there, right? But the fact that in that moment, he could be that unselfish, I hope that doesn't get lost on people, because nobody, like I said, nobody would have argued with him taking that shot and missing it.
That is an absolute perfect statement to make. We talked about, you know me, I have a thought of the day every day. And one of the thoughts the other day was, we want you to be the ultimate teammate. And then asked, what does that mean? What does it mean to be the ultimate teammate? And boy, Xavier's proven that and then some with his willingness to do whatever is necessary to win. He's 5 for 7 from the field. He only took 7 field goal attempts, 10 for 11 at the free throw line, and was making play after play, basket after basket. And to have the willingness to say, I don't have to, quote, be the star and get the last basket. I'm going to do what's required. It takes a rare person to do that. It also takes a veteran, experienced basketball player to make that play also. And he is playing at such a high level that nothing he does anymore should surprise any of us. He's playing at an elite level that very few players, period, in America are playing at.
I would also think that, as impressed as I may be on radio, or as impressed as others might be, observers and fans and people who go to your games, I would think that also has an effect on your team, knowing that towards the tail end of these games, you know what, it's not going to be the Xavier Thames show exclusively. And every single person, all 4 of us who are out here not named Xavier Thames in the clutch moments of some of these games that come down the stretch, you know what, he might be looking for you in this spot. I would think that probably has an incredible residual effect inside of your locker room.
It has to, without a shadow of a doubt. Dwayne Polee was surrounded and mobbed by everybody, and anybody in that building that was writing or had a microphone wanted to talk to Polee after the game. And I think when you know you have a willingness to share and willingness to do whatever is necessary, then it permeates to everybody. The ball doesn't stick with anybody. When the guy that gets the most touches is as willing and able to give the ball up to another open teammate, it breeds that kind of confidence and also teamwork and unity that we have. This is a group that has done a wonderful job of enjoying one another and enjoying the successes of one another. You watch our bench, and guys that sit for 15 minutes and don't play are engaged and in the game so that when they get their chance, they're ready to play. That comes with a good positive feeling that's created every day in practice.
We're talking to Steve Fisher at San Diego Sports Leader, the Mighty 1090. Coach, I got to ask about yourself, because they show you on television from time to time, and you guys are trailing at the half, and you're down 14 in the second half, and it's clutch time here, it's crunch time, it's nip and tuck, back and forth. You seem to have the nerves of Tiger Woods on the 18th green at Augusta. I mean, it doesn't seem like anything externally is happening with you. What's going on internally with Steve Fisher there? I mean, are you as calm inwardly as you are outwardly?
I think at the moment, yes. You have to make sure that you're not up and down with baskets that are made or not made, that you have a relatively even keel, so that when you do emphatically make a point, they listen carefully, because they know that most of the time my job is to teach and to help put them in positions to be successful. So when I raise my voice, which I do, they know it's for a reason, and talk about effort and talk about commitment and talk about making an effort play. They listen. So I think that's important for everybody. You can't go haywire, and you can't go berserk at every play that happens, or after a while it'll be like the crying wolf. They don't pay any attention to you. And so, you do it long enough, you have the ability to do that. And I think our whole staff does.
Well, Coach, 20 wins. It's another year with a 20-win notch under your belt there. I do wonder this, though, and you guys have Nevada coming up this weekend, and I think it might be lost on some people here, because people look around at the Mountain West Conference and say, well, it's San Diego State and everybody else. I'm guessing it's probably not lost on you, nor your staff, nor your team here, that, it's still up for grabs here. There's New Mexico. They're just a half a game behind you. They have one loss. And, oh, by the way, of the remaining games you have on your schedule, 2 of them are against New Mexico. So it's not like you guys have sealed the envelope here and said, hey, we're going into the NCAA tournament as a 3 or a 2 or a 1 seed. Who knows? I'm sure it's not lost on anybody there in your program that there's New Mexico, and this division and this conference is still entirely up for grabs.
Darren, we enjoyed that Boise State victory, and I told the players, smile, savor it, think about it, come back Thursday afternoon at 1 o'clock, make sure you have yourself ready to practice and get ready for Nevada. And we know we're halfway through the league. We're 9-0 in the league. We got 9 more league games to play. Mm-hmm. And New Mexico, who won both the conference and the conference tournament last year, have 5 starters back from that team, and they're good. So we know how hard it is. Look at some of the games we've won. Nevada is a surprise team in the league. They went into Vegas and won. They have won a lot of close games. They have in Burton a pro, and he can get his shot and basket against anybody. So this is a confident, good team coming in on Saturday. And it's like anything else. You get ready for the next one, and I know we'll be ready. Winning helps you feel good about yourself, but you can't start letting up in terms of how you prepare and your eagerness and your focus on that next opponent. We've done a really good job through 9 games, and I have no reason to doubt that we won't do a really good job the next 9.
Well, a thriller last night, 67-65, the final score. It's a pleasure to talk with you, Coach. Thank you very, very much for the time, and continued success. We'll see you out there on Saturday afternoon.
Thank you, Darren. I appreciate you having me on.